XRP is up 27.5% in the past couple of hours alone, based on the news that the Ripple vs. SEC case has finally concluded after 2.5 years, and Judge Annalisa Torres has ruled in favor of Ripple, deeming that XRP does not constitute a security. So in this video, we're going to talk about exactly what this means for XRP as one of the first altcoins with regulatory clarity, as well as the trade opportunity I am looking at when it comes to this altcoin, as I believe there is still a lot more room to profit from this news. You can expect to hear about all this in today's daily market update. So hopping right in here with the breaking news, it has officially been ruled that XRP is not a security. Here is the official document that was actually released by Judge Annalisa Torres, and we can see right here that in the conclusion it says, for the foregoing reasons, the SEC's motion for summary judgment is granted as to the institutional sales and otherwise denied. Defendant's motion for summary judgment is granted as to the programmatic sales, the other distributions, and Larson's and Garlinghouse's sales, and denied as to the institutional sales. So we're going to break down what this means in a little more detail in just a little bit, but I do kind of want to give you a summary on what the official ruling was here. So Ripple Labs scored a victory in the United States District Court in the Southern District of New York on July 13th, as Judge Annalisa Torres ruled in favor of the company in a case brought forth by the SEC dating back to December of 2020. According to documents filed on July 13th, Judge Torres has granted a summary judgment in favor of Ripple Labs, allowing that the XRP token is not a security. The SEC lawsuit sought to compel Ripple to stop offering its XRP token under the premise that XRP was a security and thus required additional regulation. So per court documents viewed by Cointelegraph and what we just read you guys there, defendant's motion, and in this case the defendants would be Larson and Garlinghouse. Defendant's motion for summary judgment is granted regarding the programmatic sales, the other distributions, and Larson's and Garlinghouse's personal sales. Now, based on this news, XRP rocketed from 47 cents up to 60 cents, and I do believe there is a lot more steam for this altcoin to continue running. However, one thing I do want to mention here in terms of the conclusion is that while the secondary sales have been deemed as non-securities, the judge actually did rule here that XRP, their institutional sales were for an investment rather than for consumptive use. So this means that institutional sales and the contract support the conclusion that the parties did not view XRP as the sale of a commodity or currency, and that they understood the sale of XRP to be an investment in Ripple's efforts. It says here that an examination of the entire of the parties' understanding and expectations, including the full set of contracts, expectations, and understandings centered on the sales and distribution of XRP, supports the conclusion that a reasonable investor situated in the position of institutional buyers would have been aware of Ripple's marketing campaign and public statements connecting XRP's price to its own efforts. But what they say here is that there is no evidence that a reasonable programmatic buyer, who was generally less sophisticated as an investor, shared similar understandings and expectations, and could parse through the multiple documents and statements that the SEC highlights, which include statements across many social media platforms and news sites from a variety of Ripple speakers over an extended 8-year period. Therefore, having considered the economic reality and totality of circumstances, the court concludes that Ripple's programmatic sales of XRP did not constitute the offer and sale of investment contracts. So to me, what this sounds like here is that in terms of the institutional sales that were made, the judge is in fact in favor of ruling that XRP was sold as an investment contract. However, in terms of the programmatic sales, the other distribution, and the Ripple team's own personal sales, it was not deemed a security. So this is a very good piece of news for XRP. In fact, and now XRP is one of the only altcoins in the market, if not the only one, that does actually have any sort of regulatory clarity. And we actually heard here from Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. He says that we said in December of 2020 that we were on the right side of the law and will be on the right right side of history. Thankful to everyone who helped us get to today's decision, one that is for all crypto innovation in the US, more to come. Now, based on this news, I did go ahead and tweet I am long XRP at 60 cents and expecting a pump up to $1 in the coming days. And now that we've kind of gone over the big piece of news here that XRP is in fact not a security, the next thing I do want to talk to you guys about is exactly how do we plan to profit off that. So I'm going to take you over to the TradingView chart here and let you guys know what my plan is for this XRP trade. Now, hopping over to the charts here, I do want to show you guys a couple of different price targets that I am looking for when it comes to XRP. The first thing to note, interestingly, is that XRP is now actually one of the few altcoins that is on par with Bitcoin's performance year to date. Actually, now I think higher than Bitcoin, up about 85%. And I do think that we are due for a little bit of an altcoin pump now based on this piece of news. However, I do still believe that XRP is going to be the prime beneficiary of this news, as this is the only altcoin with any sort of regulatory clarity. The rest is just speculation, and I do think that this is where majority of the capital is going to flow into based on this news. So even though we have already seen a nice 33% pump on the day, I do still think this has a lot of room to run based on the fact that this SEC lawsuit has really been dragging down the price of XRP for about 2.5 years at this point. In fact, we can see that in November of 2020, XRP sat at around 77 cents, and based on the lawsuit coming out in December of 2020, it dumped down to about 18 cents. So if you were actually buying these lows here on the news of the lawsuit 2.5 years ago, congratulations to you. You would now be up about 250%. So here's what I'm looking for when it comes to XRP. The first thing that I was looking for was an actual breakout above the yearly high that came in at around 58 cents. We did successfully break out above that level, and now zooming out to a 5-year chart, I want to look at the weekly candles and take a look at some multi-year resistance. And the first thing I'm seeing here, and what I do think will act as the first area of resistance, comes in at about 75 cents. We can see here that all the way back in 2018, XRP got rejected at the 75-cent mark. It got double top rejected here in November, and then once again in February, November of 2020 and February of 2021. And then upon this breakout above the 75-cent level, this is when XRP saw a nice pump up to about $2. So what I look for here is that on this breakout above the level, we saw an explosive move, and we definitely did. Then once again here in August of 2021, we saw XRP break back above this 75-cent level, and it proceeded to rally all the way back up to $1.40. So clearly, based on the history, we can see that generally speaking, when XRP does get above this zone in a bullish state, we do tend to see some pretty explosive moves. And if there's something that I do know from crypto and really just from general markets over the years, it's that people love those round numbers, whether we're talking $1, $5, $10, $100, $1,000, and therefore I do believe that XRP going back up to $1 is more than likely based on the good news we have seen. And $1 here does act as a very strong support from a technical level, but also in terms of just a mental zone of support. And that's where I would expect to see some more heavy resistance from XRP. So if we're talking about trading it up to the 75-cent level just based on this news alone, that's a nice 40% pump from current prices. And from where we bought around 60 cents, that would in fact make for a nice 40% move. Now, if we are going to trade it up to the $1 zone, which I do believe is a much stronger area of resistance that XRP will face, we are talking about an 84% move from current prices. So that's what I'm taking a look at when it does come to XRP. That's why I'm trying to get this video out to you guys in a timely manner. I actually did have a completely other video planned for today, and then as soon as I saw the news come out, I pretty much scrapped it, and now we are talking about XRP because I do think this is going to be the biggest money-making opportunity, and I think time is definitely of the essence in this scenario as the news does spread quickly, but luckily a lot of people are still at work. I think that your average everyday investors who don't pay too much attention still have not figured it out, and I think that after work hours, after the news really gets widespread, that is when I think the FOMO kicks in, and that is when I do also believe we will see tons of inflows into XRP. Now, the one thing I do want to note that I find very, very interesting is that as soon as XRP was deemed a non-security in this lawsuit, we actually saw Bitcoin dominance dump about 1.5% here, right? Going from about 51.5% down to 50.5%. And what this signifies to me is that people are actually rotating out of Bitcoin and into XRP. And this leads me to believe, I mean, if we see some more outflows from Bitcoin and some inflows into XRP, I think this would make for a very clean trade of actually playing XRP on the way up and then flipping some profits into Bitcoin once the news has kind of subsided. But this is definitely not, a quick swing trade. It could even be a multi-day trade depending on how long it takes XRP to hit these different levels. So I hope you guys did enjoy the content in today's video. You know what to do. If you made it all the way to the end, let me know in the YouTube comments down below and claim that champion status. I am wishing you all an amazing Thursday, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out for now.